Hi, I'm Dan Hernandez. I'd like to welcome you to this week's episode of Sport Fishing. Well, it's part 2 of our multi-day adventure aboard the Top Gun 80, and we're still at Guadalupe Island, big island behind me. Lewis is on a fish. We're pretty sure it's a tuna. It's first thing in the morning. It's our last morning here at the island. So what we hope to do today is find more fish like what Lewis has on, some nice yellowfin tuna. Maybe we'll get some of those big ones like Chris caught yesterday. And then there's also lots of yellowtail here. So stay tuned for this week's exciting episode of Sport Fishing. Welcome to Sport Fishing with Dan Hernandez. Sport Fishing is brought to you by Shakespeare, manufacturers of the Ugly Stick, Cajun Red Fishing Line, Pflueger, quality rods and reels, Cabela's, America's foremost outfitter, Game Saver for preserving all your game and fish, and Blue Cross of California Foundation.
Oh yeah. Yellow, I see it.
Say something to the camera. Say something in the camera. Hi, camera.
Hello, camera.
There you go. Yeah.
Well, Chris had a nice one. And the tax man got him. That's what happens out here in Guadalupe. Taxman shows up and decides he wants to eat more than we want him.
There was another nice one.
Hey, Chris, look at the bright side. Look at the bright side. You got the nice one.
This is what happens in great white sharks. Chris caught that other one earlier today, over 100 pounds. And then this one would have been probably another close to 100 pounder. And the great white shark got a hold of it and chewed on it. What do you think?
Awesome.
Just to see that shark come out of the water. Well, Chris was a good sport because while they were fighting his fish with that shark, Raul got his fish on this turn of the boat. So we got that one in. This is, oh, you got water all over the place.
Okay.
This is Raul. This is his third fish for today. And he was lucky to get this one because Chris was hooked up, had that great white eat his tuna, and then Raul got this one in. Congratulations.
Fish on.
Stay tuned. We'll be right back with a lot more action. We're at the Top Gun 80 here at beautiful Guadalupe Island.
Oh, he got that one that was free swimming.
Oh yeah?
Nice fish, too. About 12-pound fish.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got color right here on it already. You got color on it, Steve, right here.
Sean's on it.
Thomas has one like
Oh, you want that free swimming around the corner?
Come on up this way. Okay, trying to walk up that way. Okay, you guys are good now.
He made him upset. How do you feel?
Yeah.
Nice one. Here's your free swimmer.
Oh yeah.
Cajun Red. This week's Fish Fact is brought to you by Shakespeare, manufacturer of the brand new Dan Hernandez fishing rods.
There you go. Left and one. There you go. Good job. Good job. Right down the corner. Right down the corner. There you go. Go right down in the corner. Jump the line over.
Lift up. Right now you're angled right now.
Hold him like an ice cream cone, now you don't hurt you.
He'll swim out. They usually take one good run. And it usually tires them out.
you got
And
line
then
on
you
you,
see
got
we
line.
start gaining it all back. So we get your knot back free. What happens is, basically your turn, this is where you do all the fighting. The harder you work at it, the faster he's going to come up and he's not going to run on you again. What happens is people tend to soak their fish right here and they decide to take another long run. And then that's when people go, oh man, and you got to fight them all over again.
So like a good one?
Yeah, it's a good one. It's a nice one.
That's not tuna.
One of those bigger ones that came up. Come on.
My deck can't stop and draw a little bit. Got fish going. Just headed down there for a little while, about 30 minutes. Joe 5 for the first part of the battle, and now the deckhand's pulling on it. Just see the way he fights, it just winds up, lifts up and winds down. Pretty basic fishing. All right, now I'm the third one to get on this fish. Joe started on it. Deckhand helped him for a while. And I don't think Joe's ready to come back yet. Are you ready?
No, not yet. I'm still in my second bottle of water.
Got him turned toward the boat a little bit. See. Well, the fish turned a little bit now. So I'm getting a little bit of line on them. And you can't really lift really high like this. It's a tough fish, so any line you can get back, you want to take back. Just keep tabs of the spool that you're moving the line around. You don't want to ball it all up on one side. And you really need to keep the fish moving forward. And we're back to monofilament. At this point, you just take whatever cranks you can get.
Scott!
That's him.
Hey, watch yourself.
Yeah, it's coming up backwards.
Hey, Scott!
It's coming up. Here he comes.
It's tail wrap.
Here he comes.
Nice and easy.
Can I give it the last couple of cranks maybe?
Yeah.
Come up funky and he's gonna come up hot.
Damn, look at that.
He's not wrapped anymore.
Got him. Got him. Came up. No. He's gone. Here, leave him soak him down. Try to find shark. Shark got him, Scotty.
He used to be a
pretty fish. Snagged him. He snagged it good though, I must say. It wasn't going nowhere.
Okay, this is Joe's fish. This is Joe's fish. Deckham fought it for about 45 minutes. I fought for about 30 minutes. Joe was on it for about 30 minutes. And we had the fish up one time as a tail wrap. We couldn't get an angle to gaff it, and then the fish made a long run. And Mr. Great White found him. And this is what happens when a great white shark gets a hold of him. It's a nice tuna, but still no challenge for that great white shark. That was your big fear, that the shark would find him.
Yeah.
Enjoyers of fish.
That's still
You would turn around, you could see the gaff mark.
that's still
The sharky mark.
Yeah, the sharky mark.
that's still bigger than any tuna you've ever caught, Joe.
Yeah, that's a big one.
That's just the head.
Hold them. Other side. Right here. Hold it with the right hand. Hold it with the right hand. There you go.
All right, well, stay tuned, and when we return, we'll have the tackle box and show you the rods and reels and tackle you need for this type of fishing. There's nothing to protect you from that, though.
All right.
This week, the tackle box is brought to you by Cabela's, America's foremost outfitter. This week in the tackle box, I want to talk to you a little bit about tuna fishing. Doesn't matter if you're far offshore, down in southern Baja or off an island, something like Guadalupe where the big boys live, could be big bluefin, big yellowfin, fish over 100 pounds. You better have some big reels with you. And the smallest reel I would suggest you take with you, or I'd even recommend, would be a Penn 16 2-speed. This is a great reel to use. It's got the 2-speed feature on there, very easy to use. You just press the button, you're in low gear. You want to go into high gear, you just do a little twist there and it pops right back into the regular like high speed or 3-to-1 ratio. But when you're fishing this reel, a lot of people ask me, when do you use the low speed? When do you use the high speed? The only time you ever want to press the button and use low speed is when the fish is right below your feet. When he's going to come up in a circle and you just put it in low speed, wind on the fish, and he'll just come up. And when you're fighting the fish, you want to lift the rod up, load the rod up and have it bent really good. And then as the wave comes up and everything, and you get some momentum, as you lower the rod, you want to be turning the handle all the way. Now you get into those bigger tuna, fish over 200 pounds, you better have something like this with you. This is a Penn 2-speed 50 VSW, and this reel's designed for landing those bigger tuna. And again, it's got the same 2-speed feature like that, and you'd fight it the same way. You just want to use the boat, use the tackle, use the rod harness to fight the fish. It's not about how strong you are when you're fishing for big tuna, it's about technique. You got to let the rod load up and turn the handle on the way down, use the low speed feature, and it's really easy to land a fish over 100 pounds. It's not that hard. So this is the basic gear you need. Remember, you're fishing big fish, you need big reels, big rods. Another rod you can have with you is a brand new Ugly Stick Custom. This is the Dan Hernandez model. This particular rod's rated for fishing 50, 60 pound test line. You can use it with the 16. It works good. You can fish it with a little bit lighter line. And another nice feature is all these bigger rods have gimbals on them. So when you're using your rod belt, the gimbal will lock the rod in, makes it very important, and makes it a lot easier when you're pulling on big fish. So when you're thinking about a trip like this, don't head out, don't leave the dock without reels at least this size. All right, well, let's get back on the water and show you more exciting action right here on Sport Fishing. Got a little fish going here. I think it's a little yellow, I'm not sure. Just fishing a fly line bait. Got Cajun red line here, 40. Ugly Stick Tiger rod. Just fly line the bait. I think some yellow swam by. Tony looks like he's hooked up. I got one going here. Let's see what I got here. Yeah, a little yellowtail. Little yellowtail. Just got him on a fly line, a circle hook. You can see the gear that we're using here. Big Fluger reels, 40-pound test main line. Ugly Stick Tiger rod. So we're coming toward the end of the trip here, so we're gonna fish here a little bit. We got some yellows breaking around, trying to get some more yellowtail like this. And all we're doing is fly line fishing, and hopefully we'll find some more tuna. We're gonna take a little break from the action and visit the galley and show you how to cook up a yellowtail like this. This week, the galley is brought to you by Dan Hernandez Baja Style Fish Batter and Dipping Sauces. This week in the galley, I want to show you a really simple recipe to do. Now, sometimes when we're cooking fish, and I like to cook a bunch of fish sometimes for the whole week, and I end up with some leftover fish, other pieces. So what I have here is just a bunch of leftover fish, combination yellowtail, rockfish, all mixed in together. And I'm just going to show you a really, I wouldn't call it quite a salad, but kind of like a vegetable dish that you can do with this. It's really easy to do. So what I do is start off, take some Kikkoman soy sauce and just drizzle a little bit on there. Some of this fish has already been marinated in other products, so I'm just going to mix it in there a little bit of the sauce. Take some corn, put that right in there. Here's all the corn. I have some jalapenos cut up. Now we have some red onions. And just, it really looks nice presentation, all the different colors, and the taste would be great. A little bit of avocado, not too much, and some cilantro. And then you can drizzle again with a little bit more of the soy sauce. You don't want to add a lot because it adds a lot of salt. Just a little bit there. And you just mix it all together. This is just a nice, simple little dish you can do. going to watch a game or you just want a quick meal, the fish has already been cooked. You did it earlier in the day or earlier in the week, and you just add these little ingredients to it. You can add other different types of bell peppers or different types of chilies, peppers to it. It works fine. Take a little bite. Delicious. You can also, what I do sometimes, put this in a little container, take it to work with me, have it at the office. It's a great lunch. Well, let's get back on the water and show you more exciting action right here on Sport Fishing. This week's tip of the week is brought to you by Magic Metal Jigs and Bucktail Jigs. Well, for this week's tip of the week, I want to tell you, if you're going to come out here to Guadalupe Island, you got to bring some heavy gear. Short rods, 6-foot rods, 5.5-foot rods, 2-speed reels are a must for these big tuna. We saw tuna on this trip. Chris's fish was well over 100 pounds. We saw tuna over 200 pounds that we couldn't even hook up. So that's this week's tip of the week. Bring heavy gear when you head offshore or fish out here. And you want to have the heavy leaders too. Can't fish out light line when you're going for 100-pound tunas. Well, we had a great time fishing aboard the Top Gun. We're out here for a multi-day trip. I want to thank skipper, owner-operator Bob Taff and all his crew. They did a wonderful job taking care of us. We got some quality tuna, lots of yellowtail, even some nice calico bass. It was a great trip. Well, I'm Dan Hernandez, hoping you enjoyed this week's episode of Sport Fishing, and I hope you join us again next week as we go looking for more of the best in sport fishing.